Hello students and welcome to your English language class. Today we'll be reading the second half of the fiction In the Kingdom of Fools. Now let me just give you a quick recap of the first half of the story. Now this is an interesting story of a kingdom where the king and his ministers were complete idiots. They were fools and they used to confirm their stupidity by giving idiotic commands or orders to the people living out there. Now one day it happened that a thief broke into the house of a rich man. A wall of the house fell on him and he died on the spot. Now the brother of the thief complained to the king that the rich man was responsible for the thief's death because the wall of his house was weak. Now this was a weird accusation made by the thief's brother. But the king said that okay, fine, justice will be served to you. So the owner of the house was summoned, but he said that the bricklayer who had constructed the wall was responsible. So eventually the bricklayer was summoned, who shifted the blame onto a dancing girl. He said that when he was making a wall, a dancing girl passed several times through the street, which distracted his attention. Further, the dancing girl told the king that she had ordered a goldsmith to make jewelry for her. He did not make it in time, so she had to pass through the street several times. The goldsmith was called. He said that he could not make ornaments for her because she had to make ornaments for a wedding in the rich man's house. So he could not finish the jewelry of the dancing girl in time. Now the rich man was summoned and he was the same owner of the house where the thief had died. So now let's start reading the second half. Now who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of his wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him? Can you name him? Now the goldsmith named the merchant, that he was none other than the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Now justice had come full circle, thought the king. Now earlier also the king had put the blame on the owner of the house, and again after summoning so many people and listening to their stories, now again the blame has come down to the same person, the owner of the house. So the justice has come full circle now, thought the king. Back to the merchant. When he was rudely summoned back to the court, he arrived crying. Now दोबारा जब उसको कोर्ट में बुलाया गया, this time he was crying. He said that it wasn't me but my father who ordered the jewelry. He's dead, I am innocent. But the king consulted his minister and ruled decisively. It's true, your father is the true murderer. He's dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. Now, as we all know that the king was foolish, so he said that somebody must be punished for this crime. So you have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. So you must pay the price for being his son. Now I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the root of this horrible crime. You must die. Now अब वो कह रहे हैं कि तुम्हारे फादर से तुमने सब कुछ इनहेरिट किया है, उनकी प्रॉपर्टी, उनकी जितने भी रिचेस हैं, तुमने वो सब कुछ इनहेरिट किया है, तो उनके जितने भी सिंस हैं, जो भी पाप उन्होंने किए हैं, उनको भी तुम्हें ही भुगतना पड़ेगा. So you must die. And he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. Now what's a stake? Stake is a wooden log which is pointed at one end. Okay, तो उन्होंने एक न्यू स्टेक ऑर्डर किया उसको बनवाने के लिए, made ready for the execution. As the servants sharpened the stake and got it ready for the final impaling. Impaling means killing of the criminal. It occurred to the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be properly executed on the stake. Now ministers को लगा कि ये जो merchant है, he is too thin and the stake is too huge for him, and he won't be impaled or executed properly on the stake. So he appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. Now अब उसने किंग को ये अपनी जो भी उसकी वरी थी इसके बारे में किंग के साथ डिस्कशन किया और किंग भी worried हो गए. Now what shall we do? He said. When suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. Now they thought about it and finally they came to a decision that let's find a man fat enough to fit the stake. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would fit the stake. And their eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. Now अब उन्होंने एक ऐसे आदमी की तलाश की जो इतना फैट हो जो कि उस स्टेक पे आराम से एग्जीक्यूट उसको किया जा सके. तो उन्होंने फाइनली किसको ढूंढा? उन्होंने जो गुरु शिष्य थे उनमें से जो डिसाइपल थे उसको पकड़ लिया, बिकॉज ही हैज़ बिकम सो फैट आफ्टर ईटिंग bananas and rice and wheat and ghee and so on. So, what have I done wrong? I'm innocent, I'm a sannyasi, he cried. That may be true, but it's the royal decree. Decree means order. That we should find a man fat enough to fit the stake, they said. Now, अब जो इसके किंग के सोल्जर्स हैं उन्होंने कहा whatever it is, whatever excuse you have, but it's the royal order and we are just following it. We need a man who's fat enough to fit the stake. And carried him to the place of execution. He remembered his wise guru's words. This is a city of fools. Now earlier also his wise guru had advised him that this is a city of fools and let's go from here, but he insisted on staying back because everything was cheap out here. You don't know what they will do next. While he was waiting for death, he prayed to his guru in his heart. Now जब उसको लगा कि he is about to die, at that time he started remembering his guru. Everything in a vision. He had magic powers, he could see far and he could see the future as he could see the present and the past. Now his guru was he was blessed with the powers, magical powers, that he could see the future, the present, the past, everything he could see. So he arrived at once to save his disciple who had got himself into such a scrape or trouble through love of food. अब उसका जो disciple है, he has landed into a big trouble now and he is about to be executed. So his guru arrived there at once. As soon as he arrived, he scolded the disciple and told him something in a whisper. अब धीरे से जाके उसके कान में जो गुरु हैं उन्होंने उसको कुछ समझाया. Then he went to the king and addressed him. O wisest of kings, who's greater, the guru or the disciple? अब उन्होंने किंग से जाके सीधा क्वेश्चन किया कि कौन बड़ा है, गुरु या उसका शिष्य? Of course the guru, no doubt about it. Why do you ask? Then put me to the stake first. Put my disciple to death after me. When the disciple heard this, he understood and began to clamor. Me first. You brought me here first. Put me to death first, not him. अब वहाँ पे जो disciple है, he started pretending and he started arguing that no. You brought me here first, so let me die first here. The guru and the disciple now got into a fight about who should go first. The king was puzzled by this behavior. अब किंग ये सब देखकर बहुत हैरान हो गए that why they are fighting over this, that who will be executed first. He asked the guru, why do you want to die? We chose him because we needed a fat man for the stake. You shouldn't ask me such questions. Put me to death first, replied the guru. Why? There's some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. अब जो किंग है वो इंसिस्ट करते हैं that I need to know the reason why you want to die here. Will you promise to put me to death if I tell you? Asked the guru. The king gave him his solemn word. अब किंग ने उसको प्रॉमिस किया that okay fine, I'll let you die here, I'll execute you first, but first you tell me the reason. The guru took him aside out of the servant's earshot and whispered to him. अब गुरु उसको साइड में लेकर गए, धीरे से उसके कान में रीजन बताया. Do you know why we want to die right now, the two of us? We have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this or a king like you. That stake is the stake of the God of justice. Now he is cooking up a story and he is telling that, okay, fine, we both, Guru and and my disciple, we have been to all over the world, we have been to places, and we know that this stake is not an ordinary stake but a stake of the God of justice. It's new. It has never had a criminal on it. Whoever dies on it first will be reborn as the king of this country, and whoever goes next will be the future minister of this country. We are sick of our ascetic life. Okay, it would be nice to join ourselves as king and ministers for a while. Now keep your word, my lord, and put us to death. Me first, remember. Now अब जो गुरु है वो एक स्टोरी सुनाते हैं उसको कि ये जो स्टेक है बहुत पायस है, सेक्रेड है, एंड इट इज़ द स्टेक ऑफ गॉड ऑफ जस्टिस, और इससे जो भी पहले मरेगा वो वापस इस कंट्री का राजा बनेगा, और जो सेकेंड उसमें मरेगा अटेम्प्ट में वो मिनिस्टर बनेगा. एंड वी आर टायर्ड ऑफ आर, जो भी हम ये लाइफ गुजार रहे हैं अपनी सन्यासी वाली, वी आर टायर्ड ऑफ इट. So we want to be king and minister for a while. So now the king was now thrown into deep thought. He didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life. अब जो king है वो गहरी सोच में पड़ जाते हैं because he doesn't want to lose his kingdom in the next round of life. He needed time, so he ordered the execution postponed to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. अब उन्होंने execution postpone कर दिया to the next day, and he started talking in secret with his minister. It's not right for us to give over the kingdom to others in the next life. Now he became worried that in the next life I won't be the king anymore, so let's go on to stake ourselves and we'll be reborn as king and minister again. Holy men do not tell lies. अब वो कह रहे हैं कि वो खुद एक इतने बड़े गुरु हैं तो वो झूठ नहीं बोल रहे होंगे, सच ही बात कही होगी. He said, and the minister agreed. So he told the executioners, we'll send the criminals tonight. When the first man comes to you, put him to death first, then do the same to the second man. Those are my orders. Don't make any mistake. Now that night the king and his ministers went secretly to the prison, released the guru and the disciple, disguised themselves as the two, and as arranged beforehand with loyal servants, were taken to the stake and promptly executed. अब जो किंग और उनका जो मिनिस्टर होता है वो गुरु और डिसाइपल की जगह वहाँ पर पहुँच जाते हैं. उनकी तरह ही उन्होंने अपने आप को डिस्गाइज किया होता है, उनका रूप धारण किया होता है. दे मस्ट हैव ड्रेस्ड अप लाइक देम. सो जैसा कि उन्होंने अपने लॉयल सर्वेंट्स के साथ पहले ही अरेंजमेंट करी हुई होती है, तो जैसे ही वो स्टेक पर पहुंचते हैं दे वर प्रॉम्प्टली एग्जीक्यूटेड. तभी के तभी उनका एग्जीक्यूशन हो जाता है. दे वर किल्ड देन एंड देयर. When the bodies were taken down to be thrown to crows and vultures, the people panicked. They saw before them the dead bodies of the king and the minister. The city was in confusion. और जब उनकी बॉडीज़ को क्रोज और वल्चर्स को डालने के लिए फेंका जाता है, and everybody came to know that the persons who were executed are none other than the king and the minister himself, so they got into confusion. All night they mourned and discussed the future of the kingdom. Now everybody in the city, everybody in the kingdom was worried and was worried about the future of the kingdom, that now who will be the king and who will look after the kingdom. So some people suddenly thought of the guru and the disciple and caught up with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. Now कुछ लोगों ने उन गुरु डिसाइपल को जाते हुए वहाँ से देखा और उन्हें रोका. We people need a king and a minister, said someone. Others agreed. अब उन्होंने कहा कि हमें एक किंग और मिनिस्टर की ज़रूरत है. They begged the guru and the disciple to be their king and their minister. It didn't take many arguments to persuade the disciple, but it took longer to persuade the guru. डिसाइपल तो पहले ही काफ़ी सेल्फिश था, तो वो तो चाहता था कि जल्दी से मिनिस्टर बन जाए, लेकिन गुरु को काफ़ी टाइम लगा उन लोगों को कन्विंस करने में. They finally agreed to rule the kingdom of the foolish king and the silly minister on the condition that they could change all the old laws. अब उन्होंने agree किया कि ठीक है, we'll be the king and the minister, but we'll be changing all the old laws. From then on, night would again be night and day would again be day, and you could get nothing for a dudu. It became like any other place. So finally, the kingdom has changed for good and everything was back on track, and all the daytime activities were being done during the daytime, and all the city the city was back to normal under their guidance and supervision. Okay, so this was the story. I hope you've understood it well. So now you have to write a short summary of this chapter, and you have to write the question answers in your fair notebook, and you have to submit it in the group by 3 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video.